She was young, pregnant, and full of hope, until the man who claimed to love her exposed the darkest parts of himself. In the charming suburbs of Milan, a horrifying secret was hidden behind the walls of a modest apartment. When 29-year-old Giulia Tramontano vanished without a trace, her boyfriend painted it as a simple breakup. But what really happened was far more sinister. This is not just a story of love gone wrong. It's about obsession, control, and a carefully orchestrated lie that turned deadly. Welcome to Criminology Insights. Today, we uncover the disturbing case of Giulia Tramontano, a woman who trusted the wrong man and paid the ultimate price. Giulia was excited about her future. She was expecting a child and had been in a long-term relationship with Alejandro Impadiello, a bartender in Milan. What she didn't know was that Alejandro had been living a double life, with another woman named Algra, who was also pregnant with his child. He played both sides perfectly. To Giulia, he was a supportive partner. To Algra, he pretended Giulia was just a crazy ex. But when both women began noticing inconsistencies, when timelines didn't match, and questions went unanswered, Alejandro's house of lies started to collapse. One day, Giulia confronted him after discovering messages and photos on his phone. She demanded the truth. He got angry, accused her of invading his privacy. But Giulia stood her ground. She told him she was done. She was leaving Milan for Naples, and for good. That night, she texted her mother and sister, saying she needed space and would return in a few days. She had no idea those messages would be the last they'd ever receive from her. Alejandro knew he had lost control. Giulia now knew everything: his lies, the other woman, and the manipulations. She turned her back on him, emotionally detached, cold, for he begged her to change her mind. She kept packing. He yelled. She stayed silent. Then he snapped. He grabbed a knife from the kitchen. In a sudden explosion of rage, he stabbed Giulia 37 times. The attack was swift, brutal, and final. She didn't even have time to scream. When he realized what he had done, panic set in. Blood was everywhere. His plan, his secret life, his false reality. Everything was collapsing. Alejandro dragged Giulia's body into the bathroom, poured alcohol over her, and tried to set it on fire. But the fire didn't destroy the evidence the way he'd hoped. So he resorted to desperate cleaning, scrubbing floors, walls, furniture. Still, traces of blood remained. In an effort to deceive, he began sending text messages from Giulia's phone, telling her family she needed space, that she was leaving Milan. He even reported her missing to the police just hours later, claiming she left after an argument and never came back. To investigators, it was a red flag. Why was he so calm? Why wasn't he actively helping the search? Why didn't he contact her family himself? Police got to work. Blood was found in Alejandro's car. More blood was discovered in the common stairwell of their apartment building. Surveillance footage showed him sneaking to the garage late at night, carrying heavy bags and returning empty-handed. Digital forensics revealed even more disturbing details. Alejandro had been searching the internet for poisons and how to harm someone without leaving a trace. Months earlier, he had even doctored a fake DNA test to convince Algra that the child wasn't his. Just another layer in his web of lies. The facade was crumbling. Eventually, under mounting pressure and evidence, Alejandro confessed. He led police to Giulia's body, left in an overgrown area near Sonego, partially burned. News of Giulia's murder shook Italy to its core. She was young, pregnant, and trying to escape an emotionally abusive relationship. Her story echoed thousands of others across the country. Women trapped in toxic relationships with manipulative, dangerous men. Protests erupted in cities across Italy, Milan, Rome, Naples. Women held signs demanding better protection, harsher penalties, and justice for victims of femicide. Giulia's sister, Carla, spoke at one of the rallies. Her voice cracked as she called on lawmakers to stop waiting until it's too late. In court, Alejandro claimed he lost control, that it wasn't premeditated. But prosecutors painted a very different picture, of a narcissist who plotted and manipulated right up until the moment he struck. Psychiatric evaluations confirmed Alejandro had no empathy and displayed classic narcissistic behavior. He didn't grieve. He wasn't sorry. He was just trying to save himself. Algra, the other woman, testified against him. She revealed messages, the fake DNA test, and the emotional manipulation she endured. Her testimony sealed the case. Alejandro Impadiello was found guilty of first-degree murder with aggravating circumstances, cruelty, emotional abuse, and deliberate destruction of evidence. He was sentenced to life in prison. Giulia Tramontano's murder was not a random act of violence. It was the deadly result of manipulation, control, and a man who couldn't handle losing power. But her story sparked a fire. It exposed a system that fails to protect women until it's too late. It reminded Italy and the world that behind every statistic is a real person with a name, a family, a future. Giulia's voice was silenced, but her story continues to speak. Thank you for watching. This has been another deep dive from Criminology Insights. If you found this story important, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more true crime documentaries that demand justice. And never forget the victims. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and keep seeking the truth.